tougher and tougher it gets day by day. Evidence seeps out of the hot spots, is ignored, then denied, and then the final statement can be made. How dare you infer that we are evil? Are those adamant men on Israeli television really saying that raping Palestinian detainees is okay because they are animals? Be really clear about this. It is understandable that they feel that way. There is so much evidence of people feeling that way about other people going back to Adam and before. Are Israelis rushing to the defense of IDF soldiers charged with abusing prisoners? Apparently, yes. Has the iPhone changed truth? No. It is scientific now that violence doth beget itself. All combatants rape. I'll not disbelieve. I have never been in a battle, so how would I know? I must take someone's word for it, like you take the word that an election has happened and you lost. It must be understood as a huge achievement that people overcome these conditions. I was near Victoria Station in the mid-80s when an IRA bomb went off. Boom! One bomb, I heard it, didn't see it, no one was hurt, but day after day, imagine day after day, on both sides. Maybe it's the frogs and the slow boil idea, that you're not aware that it's going on until it's critical. At least people are tolerating huge and horrific stress, both sides, and their minds are bent by it. Why? Because this is the problem. This, from the safety of northern New Jersey, should be understood. War will make crazies of us all, hard realities, and no one, least of all I, can judge these people under this duress, driven to this madness. But the belief systems, all of them, drive us to madness where there is no reason. There is no trauma to cause it. And they make a particular kind of crazy. They absolve us. For 1,000-odd years, Christians went into a blood frenzy because another sect didn't believe exactly like they did. They were a threat, invented and built in Satan. Satan, who possessed the Jews, the Albigensians, the Protestants, the Muslims, the Catholics, Seventh-day Adventists, Weekend Adventists, Calvinists, not to mention the Arapaho, whose existential task, we were told, was to destroy us. And we struck first. We invented the cannons. That's what we used the gunpowder for. We did that, we Christians. Please don't deny this. It's just sickening when you do. Denial is the greatest sickness of all. The monotheists have a very bad case, Christianity's being the worst. If you say this all was so long ago, that's a usual excuse. When was Bosnia? 1995. Long ago. Now, if monotheism cannot be overcome, I understand it gives all kinds of peace and comfort to so many zillions of people. If we have such need of these diseases, assurances of heaven, this terrible need for meaning, because for some reason you feel you have no meaning, I can tell you as a non-monotheist, meaning grows on trees. If you could but see it and feel it, just walk outside. A tangent asking about what's happening in England. Quote, white working class men attacking people of color, end quote, is how it generally rounds out. Was surprisingly encumbered by an insight today, quote, they feel their white identity is threatened. Ah, end quote. By an invading army of brown people? Yes. That's what they feel. The identity of the English working person long before an Arab or Tanzanian set foot was zero. 90% of England's population during the Age of Kings, from Egbert in 827 till the Industrial Revolution, were serfs, non-people. non-identities. After this, they became the working class, serfs with longer hours, until finally, in 1918, they got the vote. They were given the vote. It came down from a place upon the place beneath, from heaven, droppeth like a gentle rain. Who nominated and maintained them in this animal state? The English 10%. Not, by the way, Arabs. And the 10% church, in all their burning, people burning, drawing and quartering glory. And oh, Shakespeare, father of, poet of, praise singer of, the monarch obsession, so sick was he that he puts the peon of England, this royal throne of kings, teeming womb of royal kings, that England that was wont to conquer others, end quote, this famous ode to supremacy and warmongery, into the mouth of a brutal, greedy lord, sick and seething with jealousy, John of Gaunt. And his actors are obliged to proudly trot out this clever muck in iambic pentameter, the language of kings, and communicate value. Another play to do again is The Man for All Seasons. The man famous for the world record of condemning unbelievers or wrong believers to the stake. Quote, his dialogue concerning heresies tells us that heresy is an infection in the community, and infections must be purged with fire. Burning a heretic also simulates the effects of hellfire, a fit punishment for anyone who led others to hell through teaching religious error. We know of 6 heretics burning alive during More's stint as Lord Chamberlain, Sir Thomas More, Saint, I believe, 3 in cases he personally pursued. But the arguments laid out in concerning heresies continued to inspire the Catholic burning of Protestants, and vice versa, across Europe long after his death, including the atrocities of Mary Tudor, end quote. So maybe, finally, the working class are emulating their betters, and perhaps, like American bombing Iraqis for 9/11, Israelis' vengeance for the Holocaust visited upon Arabs, they are beating up Muslims instead of a Churchill or Lord Crawley. Clever that. No wonder the Douglas Murrays and Lord Fauntleroys are so unashamedly Islamophobes. I've tried. I don't understand it. I know people of the books. I love them. I really do. I'm very, very fond of them. But when we get onto this, just this underlying thing, this cause of war, this existential created threat, this, and they just continue justifying, on and on and on and on and on. Anyway.